Good morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to the world, and good morning to the African, and good morning to the Biafran families all over the globe. Global geopolitical etoso, Africans, Biafrans must learn to prioritize interest above ideology. These are part of the headline that we are going to treat this morning. Remember, today happens to be Thursday, the 3rd of October in the year of 2024. We have just 2 months to the declaration of the independent state of Biafra. This is the first time Nigeria is having coordinated response to insecurity. Gabi, that is a liars from the pit of hell. Yet, you want to shift internally displaced people down to the east. And you're telling me you have answered the insecurity. Nobody should be that. All this ruling from the book. All this ruling from the book. Everything about zoo is propaganda. Tinubu will come out now and tell you that they have recovered 30 trillion, 30 billion, 30 this and 30 that. But at the end of the day, find out that all is lies. All is just on paper. Very dark man will learn the hard way. If I get angry, choosing pastor Lazarus Moka. Moka, no go try this guy, you. I beg. Abbas Haruna dismissed from service after court-martial. Defense headquarters reviews. My wonderful people, this one is a very authentic news coming from the platform of Okute Daily Talk. Please like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos. For the past few weeks, global belligerent escalations, diplomacy inclusive, have been recorded amidst active state actors and superpowers, from Russia threatening to amend its nuclear doctrine in response to the aggressive rhetoric trotted out by Western countries, namely USA, UK, to allow Ukraine use as long-range Western-made weapons to strike deep inside Russia. China, US squabble over global economic dominance, and the Taiwan question to escalations between Israel and the allied forces. Militias in the Levant, whom conveniently calls themselves the Axis of Resistance, they are abundantly present in Lebanon, Yemen, Iraq, Gaza, Syria, in coordination with the so-called Iran. To be fair, the issues surrounding the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the Western-led campaign to cancel Russia for vile aggression against its neighbors was much handled sophisticatedly by Africans and the entire global South, taking the strategic position and ambivalence and neutrality, and looking out to explore, maximize, and protect their various individuals, nations' interests, while arguing for the de-escalation and peaceful resolution. And as such, it is safe to say that Africans, for the first time in a very long period of time, made use of their brains to discern instead of assuring that pivotal responsibility to already known enemies. However, in the case of tension between Israel with its neighbors, Africans seem to be thrown off balance, and this unarguably is as a result of the religious factor and the attachment by Africans to either side of the divide since the Hamas incursion into Israel nearly a year ago. The polity in Africa has been divided along these lines. Statistically, Africans in the northern hemisphere of the continent have always had a soft spot for a Palestinian cause and animosity towards Israel, while down south, with the exception of South Africa, has a soft spot for Israel and defends its actions. Both of these divides and polity are inspired by religious undertone, Islam and Christianity, or more extensively, Judaism. In Nigeria, this is also the case respectively with the North in support of Islamic divide and the South in support of Israel. In Biafra land, until recently, there has been a total expression of solidarity by the majority of the population towards Israel as a result of the strong existence of Judeo-Christian ideology therein. These sentiments still dwells, however, due to essential demands for awareness in global politics which is devoid of sentiments, religious or ideological, there has been a notable drop in though the desired result is not yet attained. Irrespective of how religious ideologies are designed to unite people beyond color or race, the essential reality of politics and all that it contains juxtaposes that and thus compelling individual nations race to activate self-preservation instincts to secure their own race, abandoning their own brothers in arm, religious and ideological wise. Examples of these scenarios abound. Most recent instance of this demonstrated after the assassination of Hezbollah Secretary General Said Nasrallah and subsequent bombings by Israeli forces in Lebanon, including civilian populated areas. Lebanese, who hosted African immigrants as their menial workers abandoned them in the streets of Lebanon amidst the violence and fled to safety with their own kids and kins. Human and woman rights activists, as tastefully sourced alongside other activists, have been at the forefront of the other lamenting and discrimination of these African immigrants, mostly women, by Lebanese advocating for the provision of shelter for them. Suffice to say that these immigrants, when interviewed, had a strong disdain for Israel and its aggression, but this did not stop them from being abandoned at the mercy of death when it knocks. To bring this to a relative and assimilable context, during the Biafra genocidal war of 1967 to 1970, the countries who stood idly by and even sponsored the genocide against Biafrans were majority of these who professed the Judeo-Christian creed and faith. And should there be a repetition of such scenario? Hopefully not. They should do it again as long as their interest does not align with the survival of the Biafran race or quest for self-determination. As these tensions continue to escalate with the possibility of another global war not ruled out, Africa in general and Biafra land in particular is a way too strong to maintain the neutrality stance for the entire period of the global turbulence. At some point, we would be sucked in to become active players. This is a futuristic projection anyways. In light of this, we must imbibe the principle of aligning with our interest in self-preservation as a race, not as a result of any ideological or religious sentiments. Should there be any reason to align based on religious and ideological affiliations, it should be only after national and racial interest must have aligned. This priority must not be left to exist within the leadership circle, but must permeate into any rudiments of the society. The people. This is the only way to sustain these interests, even in hard times and challenges. The people are the backbone of the society. Self-preservation is the first law of the universe, for it is only when one self-aware to preserve him or herself, only then can it defend itself from aggressions. Family Writers Press International bringing this news to my those people. Very dark man will learn the hard way if I get angry. Choosing Pastor Moka laments. The General Overseer of the Lord Choosing Charismatic Revival Ministries, Pastor Lazarus Moka, on Wednesday reacted to an alleged criticism of his church by social media activist Martins, who say widely recognized as very dark black man. The church in the last few weeks has been in the news following some testimonies shared by members of the so-called church. In one video, an elderly woman claimed she was attacked by 4 armed robbers but miraculously gained control of their guns. Another testimony featured a man who said he survived a kidnapping machete attacks and gunshots without sustaining any single injuries. Addressing his congregation in a recent video, Pastor Moka said he had been informed that Very Dark Man had made negative comments about the church, allegedly stating that choosing members will learn the hard way. In response, Moka implied that the activist himself was facing difficulties as a result of his remarks. He said, someone came to me and said, Pastor, do you see this man who is speaking against us? He said choosing people will learn something the hard way. And he mentioned the man's name, Very Dark Man. And I said, no, choosing will not learn the hard way. He will be the one to learn the hard way. Moka was quick to clarify that he bore no ill will towards the activist stating, I didn't speak evil of him. I only made a statement. I don't want to speak negatively because if I say anything negative or evil, it will happen immediately. He continued, I cannot speak evil against any man, but I'm telling you that Very Dark Man is learning something today in a hard way. I didn't say it to punish him. I only echoed his words. Moka concluded with a warning. If God's anointed gets angry with you, you are finished. And yet, Nigerian system of government, you cannot speak that word and change it for the betterment of your poor and wretched followers. Ndara in Akpongwe pastor. This is the first time Nigeria is having a coordinated response to insecurity. Gebi. The special advisor to the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa Aliu Gebi, has said Nigeria is having its coordinated response to insecurity under Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Aliu Gebi said the terrorist groups, including Boko Haram and the Islamic State of West African Province, ISWAP and bandits have been decimated because of the coordination among the security forces. Gebi stated this in an interview with Arise TV on Tuesday while analyzing the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Independence Day speech. According to him, Boko Haram has been decimated by 82%, while ISWAP have been decimated by 75%. The speech did not have high notes, but I am no economist, so I will stick to what I know, which is security. This is the first time we are having a very coordinated response to insecurity, where we have mission specifics. And you heard in what the Chief of Defense Staff said, that Tuji is now a target for how many years? This is the first time in the history of Nigeria that we have a mission-specific target painted on a specific individuals, and it is as conscious as of that you are witnessing the fact that quite the top layer of the leadership have been knocked off one after the other. And this is largely thanks to a new conductor of the security orchestra. When you have a 250-piece orchestra, there's always one conductor, and the symphony that will be produced is largely reliant on how well the conductor conducts his activities. Anyway, the last but not least, what needs to happen to ensure that this does not roll back? It's not go back to where it was, or we begin to side back the scale. Then the Northwest. Of course, we are seeing with a renewed vigor of the military and the charge led by the defense headquarters, where we now have a harmonization of all operations as an active theater. So we can now see a concerted effort of all efforts get towards specific objectives. So where before you had a smattering of efforts, now you have a consolidation, and it is because of that they are seeing recording success that we are recording. Gebi added. The same military who came out the other day through their chief of army staff, Tauri Lagbaja, and tell us that they have been overwhelmed, that there's no anyhow 2 million security personnel can fight against insecurity in the population of over 200 million people. That's the same people that come out now complicating issues. All their victories is on newspaper and media headline. That is the only problem they are having. Period to the statement Tinubu made that they have destroyed insecurity. That very particular day, insecurity rose in Sokoto and massacre farmers to tell them that you lie to the people. Each time they make that statement, just watch, you will see a number of people will pay with their head. And people are there clapping that Tinubu is making progress. Progress, my foot. Abbas Haruna dismissed from service after court-martial. Defense headquarters laments. The defense headquarters has confirmed the dismissal ex-seaman Abbas Haruna of the Nigerian Navy. The acting director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tuku Gusau, who confirmed the development during a press conference on Wednesday, said Haruna was dismissed after he was found guilty by a military court-martial in accordance with the provisions of the Armed Forces Act. He also dismissed reports of unlawful detention without trial for 6 years, as alleged by his wife, while featuring on Berekete Family, a program on human rights radio. Gusau said ex-seaman with service number N5759 last served under exercise Ayam Akpatuma, which was a joint operation under Defense Headquarters. On the allegations against the dismissed seaman, Gusau disclosed that Haruna was found misbehaving during a parade at a coordinating conference at a commanding officer who was addressing troops preparing for the operation. He noted that while the chief of commanding officer, was addressing the troops, the ex-naval rating continually interrupted the address, which warranted the officer to direct him to report to the guard room. Gusau said that ex-seaman refused to obey the order, which made the commander order his arrest, adding that Haruna resisted and expanded 16 rounds of 7.6 mm ammunition belonging to the Nigerian Navy to prevent other soldiers from taking him into custody. The defense headquarters spokesperson said Haruna pleaded guilty during his trial before a court-martial, adding that he was tried from December 20, 2022 to February 7, 2023. Gusau said Abbas faced 3 charges bordering on disobedience to particular orders, resistance to arrest, and offense relating to public service property, and was dismissed for violating sections of the Armed Forces Act, according to them. The defense headquarters confirmed that the ex-seaman was duly represented by his lawyer, Chukwu Augustine, throughout the trial. So, my wonderful people, now here we go take back break. When I go here, of course, again when we come back, please like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos coming your way. My name is Sidimen Amandia Neze, reporting live from the platform of Okute Daily Talk. Kemesiano.